What attracted you to the story as actor, of course, but also as producer?
I just love the material. You know, it's very rarely where you get a piece of material that you think, wow, this is different. This is not the kind of usual popcorn fare that they're trying to make. But that's also why it was hard to get made, because it was one of those throwbacks to those, you know, great character story-driven movies of the 70s.
What is very interesting in your career that now you are choosing some materials as an actor, but also as a producer, not only for yourself, but also for others.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have very much time to free time. You're working very hard.
Yeah, I'm either if I'm at home with my family or I'm working. I don't have any other real extracurricular activities, you know, in this time in my life. Maybe in the future, but right now it's a unique situation for me where I'm able to get things made, and you know, because of the success that I've had. So I think I need to, you know, kind of take advantage of that while it's in front of me. And
how difficult is to balance, movies that you know will be successful, such as maybe hopefully will be Transformers 4, other movies that, such as The Fighter.
Well, you know, when you have those kind of big movies that you know are sure to be a giant success, that gives you a lot more freedom to go and try to take more risks on, whether it be The Fighter or Broken City or even, you know, other films that I've done in the past and things that I'll do in the future. So you've got to kind of find that balance. You know, people always like to say it's, you know, one for them and then one for me. Sort of attitude and approach to it.
What surprises you now in your career?
You know, I'm surprised all the time, both in a good way and a bad way, you know. But I'm surprised at the fact that people complain about making adult-driven and adult-themed movies, yet they continue to be hugely successful at the box office. You know, if you look at the Oscars this year, you know, you got a bunch of movies that are adult-themed movies that still continue to work, but yet they still have this fear of making them. They have this sweet spot that they like to make the, you know, the effects-driven movies that they know they can spawn a sequel and a franchise, and they'd rather risk making a movie for $300 million. You know, you look at Lone Ranger, it cost $250 million, about two guys on a horse, and they don't want to make a, you know, a $40–50 million movie about people, you know, in New York City or something like that.
I asked you this question around 10 years when you were here for Three Kings. I asked you if there was a point, you thought there was a point when you could have started directing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've been producing so much, you are so much into the machine, or let's say. Why not also direct a movie? Since you pick the script, you choose the cast.
You know, it's just very time consuming. So if you go to direct a movie, you're basically carving out 16 months, 18 months out of your life to focus on just one project. You know, through developing, you know, pre-production, physical and principal photography, and then post-production, and then on top of it, then going out and marketing the movie. And promoting the movie. But I think it's just a matter of finding the right story that I feel compelled to tell, you know, in my own way.
But what is very interesting is that after so many things you've done as producer, we know your taste as actor, we know your taste as producer, because was this one really an old-fashioned, in a good way, old-fashioned classic, old-fashioned thriller. So maybe...
Maybe I turn around and direct a musical. Yeah.
With your talent.
No, that's the only thing that I definitely won't do, because I can't stand musicals.
So, but I mean, with your also musical career.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, music and film, I mean, the music plays such a key part of it, but singing and dancing in a movie just seems like such a no-no for me, personally.
My last question, you and Ted and the Oscar, what shall we expect?
Expect the unexpected. You know, there's no censor with Ted, and there's no censor with Seth, so they've really, you know, they've really taken a chance by, you know, letting Seth host the Oscars and letting him and I appear. You know, I mean, he'll be the first one probably in the history of the Kodak Theater, Ted, smoking marijuana backstage.